It's 5:30 in the afternoon and I've just come over from the House of Commons where I've just done my first statement as the new Secretary of State for children, schools and families, and where I've been setting out our agenda for the next few months on schools, but also a new consultation which we're going to do round the country to establish the new objectives of our department, but also to engage the wider community. I'll come to that in a moment, but first of all on schools. That's clearly a hugely important part of our work as a department, to make sure that every young person can make the most of their potential. And it's from 0 to 19 that we're focused on. So it's about nursery schools, it's about primary and secondary, and also in the 14 to 19 curriculum. My announcements today were really in 3 different sections. First of all, a new focus on standards rather than structures. We need to really focus on what's happening in the classroom to make sure that kids are getting the basics right, getting the support they need in reading and in maths as well. And we've had the Rose Review, which has helped us improve our teaching of reading. We're now going to do a new review of mathematics as well, which is going to be led by an expert called Peter Williams, who will advise us on how to improve our maths teaching and give teachers the materials and training they need to do an even better job than we've been doing up to now. And we have been raising standards in maths pretty well over the last 10 years. We also then need to make sure that we have a personalised approach to learning. Personalised learning means helping the most gifted and talented, helping us raise the average standard, but also focusing on the most disadvantaged kids who, if not, will fall behind. And we announced today £150 million for Assessment for Learning, which will help teachers have the training and support they need to really personalise learning in the classroom over the next 3 years. We also want to make sure that it's about the classroom, but also extended schools and what happens outside of normal school hours. And I've also allocated £260 million to make sure that kids on lower incomes aren't missing out of drama or sports, or also after school tuition as well. So we've announced some money there to make sure that at least 2 hours of out-of-hours tuition is going to those disadvantaged kids in our society. It's about standards in the classroom. But to have good standards, you've got to have the best teachers. We've got great teachers. We're recruiting even more of them at the moment. I want to make sure they've got a curriculum which they can work with, in which their professional judgment is properly respected, where we're freeing them up from unnecessary bureaucracy to get on with the job. I announced today that for our new 11 to 16 curriculum, which is coming out in the next couple of days, we'll have a special inset day next year to make sure teachers can prepare. And my commitment is to make sure that where we can, we get bureaucracy out of the way, let teachers get on with it. But we also need to make sure that teachers, and parents want this too, that teachers have got the power to enforce discipline in the classroom. Because if you can't keep control, whether it's really unruly behaviour or low-level discipline, you can't get on and teach. And this has been a real focus for us. We've improved the statutory powers for teachers to give them the powers to act. Now I'm working with Ofsted to raise the bar to make sure that the guidance is there, but in the inspection regime as well, we're demanding the highest standards. The fact is that only 3% of our secondary schools are unsatisfactory when it comes to behaviour. That's right down, but we need to do better. So the second thing we're doing, standards, but also backing teachers and discipline. And the third thing is to make sure that we've got the leadership we need in our schools, head teachers, but also through our trusts, our academies and our specialist school programme, to make sure that we give kids the best education. And today in particular I made an important announcement that for academies, where we're really focusing on turning around schools in the most disadvantaged areas, I want universities to come in and be part of that. For universities and schools and FE colleges, today I've abolished the requirement for a £2 million upfront cash payment. I've announced today that 9 universities are already indicating they want to come in and help us with this programme. I've also said that the core curriculum will be taught by academies as they collaborate with other schools in their areas and local authorities to drive this agenda. It's about leadership in schools. I hope that with this mainstream approach, with some stability, we can focus on standards, not structures, and make sure that we back teachers to get on with the job. We also, though, have got a really ambitious, broad agenda for this new department. It's about children and families as well as schools. We know that we can't put all the burden on schools. We've got to make sure that our approach to play, to sports, to diet, to parenting, to family policy, to youth justice is all about supporting young people and their families so that kids can learn at school, but also that if problems are occurring, we tackle them early. We've not got all the answers, although we're making real progress. We've got our 10-year youth plan coming up. We've also got our new safeguarding strategy. I want us though to be the Every Child Matters department with schools, children's services and health working with the voluntary sector to give every child the best start in life and look right across the piece. And rather than rushing to answers, I've launched a consultation today. We're going to work really hard between now and the autumn. We're going to look at all the services for 0 to 7, 7 to 14, 14 to 19-year-old young people. We're going to have for each of those groups a minister chairing, but also an expert, a head of children's services, a head teacher and an FE college principal. We're going to want to consult teachers, parents, young people themselves, as well as the professionals, so that we can make sure that we use all the levers at our disposal, we set the right objectives and we work really closely together to make the most of this exciting new opportunity which our department brings. As I said, it's not about some children or the most privileged, it's about every child having the best opportunity, the chance to make the most of their potential, to fulfil their talents. That's what our department's about. And in the House of Commons today, I was telling people that's what we're doing and got a pretty good response from the backbenchers on both sides of the House. So we've got a fair wind and now we've got to get on and deliver and do the job, and I'm looking forward to it.